I don't know. Did you get the email today?
What email? Okay, so I did see one email, but that was from the band teacher.
No.
But that's not directed at our kid.
No, it wasn't, but it's still hilarious.
Mr. Tate's having troubles. Do you think any parent emailed back asking if it was their kid?
The wrong ones. I know what kids it was.
I know too.
I know exactly what kids it was. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Meet the Stewmans. I'm Ryan.
Woo, I'm Amy.
Yes, she is.
Still am.
Yeah.
Was last week.
So
Still me today.
here in the Ryan Stewman podcast, we have a few different formats. We have standing on business, typically with Sean. This week's with Zach Sasser. You definitely don't want to miss this week's episode.
So proud of that guy.
We have Rewire, which is our daily motivation, and then we have an occasional hardcore closer podcast. And then this episode is Meet the Stewmans, where we just talk about us. It's just
I love
it's
how
just
excited
us.
you are about these.
It's pretty cool. We got like a one thing, you know.
Variety. It's a variety pack.
variety
It's a buffet.
show.
It's a
All
buffet
at
of
once.
content.
Yes. And I don't know why we decided to go with the Ryan Stewman podcast, because it's like never just me. But hey, we're here. You know, that's what we're doing.
It's great. It's
Somebody
awesome.
came up with that name, and
Here we are.
and
It's your name.
and the
I
government
mean,
signed off on it when I took it at 7 years old, and now we're here with it. You know,
it's a great, cool story, bro.
cool story, bro. So, I don't know. Did you get the email today? Can I read this to you?
What?
We're just going to start this off
What email?
hot and heavy. Hot and heavy.
What email?
Oh, you didn't
Wait,
get it.
maybe I got it.
So not sure who Mrs.
Oh, okay, so I did see one email,
Hold
but that
on.
was from the band teacher.
No, okay,
and that was
so
just
who
a
was-
general one to fifth grade.
What was
Mrs. It's the nurse.
No, what's the one that came in today?
From the band teacher?
Yes.
Okay, I did see that. But that's not directed at our kid.
No, it wasn't, but it's still fucking hilarious. How do I?
And it's so bad.
What's
and you
her
know
name?
what's funny?
You can beep it out. What's
you
her
know
name?
what's funny?
So I can pull it up.
Washington is last name. But you know what's funny? Like that email is case and point why he's having that issue. Like if you have a problem, solve it. Like be direct, solve it. Don't like this. Like the email was passive aggressive. Sounds like that's what your discipline is too. Like sounds like the kid. And I know he's a super cool. This makes me sad that he's having that problem because he's such a super cool guy and he's so chill. But I don't think he's being direct enough with these kids. I don't think he cares to be that much of a disciplinarian. I mean, he's a band teacher. He didn't want to discipline kids. You know, he's not math or science.
Yeah. So no, it's Mr. Tate.
Mr. Tate. Mr. having troubles.
Good morning, parents of the 5th grade. I'm sending an email because this applies. Sorry, I didn't finish 5th grade. This applies to the
need
vast.
some readers.
This is capitalized. Vast majority, and then back to regular of the class. Following instructions has been an issue all year, and I have given a lot of grace. Remind you, we go to our kids attend a Christian school, and I've given a lot of grace. Today
shouldn't
was
be laughing.
awful. This is at 9:42 in the fucking morning, you guys, okay? I've had to have them
We shouldn't
sit
be
in
laughing.
silence twice in capital letters due to refusing to be quiet during the class movie. I am alerting you because I am now taking it all away. All fun activities for the remainder of the year.
No fun
if
for
you
you.
want to know specifically if your child is in the group that refuses to follow instructions, please feel free to email me. I'm sorry that I have to send this email, but you all need to know what's going on. If you have questions, feel free to reach out. He sounds lovely.
Do you? No, he is a great guy. Do you think any parent emailed back asking if it was their kid?
The wrong ones. I know what fucking kids it was.
I know too.
I know exactly
I know
what
the exact
fucking kids
ones.
it was. And those parents think their kids are great. Meanwhile, parents like us would be like, was it Asher? No, it was definitely not Asher. He's a model student, you know?
I mean,
You know it was not Grayson and Asher. You know for a fact. Those
they
two,
do get some
they don't
silliness, but
talk
they
when
have a
they're
respect
together.
for authority.
But they don't talk when they're together. They're two very quiet kids. And so if
They
that
do
had been
sil-
6th
they're
grade, I'd have been
silly.
like, was it Jackson? You know?
Yeah, it definitely would have been Jax.
But Jackson doesn't get in trouble at school either, you know?
Where-
That
really?
Often, that often.
That-
he gets in trouble for obsolete shit.
It's often, but
But that teacher, he seemed like he was at his wits' end. But
He's
just let him
really
fucking
cool.
talk, bro.
I get
Who
it.
cares?
He's a really cool guy, super chill personality, and I think that's his. That's
He might have
his.
had a morning. You know what I mean?
No. That I mean, that was a very nice email. Considering what he's dealing with, probably. But he's one of those where he's not a firm guy. He can't lay down the hammer on these kids, and these are I know the group of boys that it is, and they're a wily bunch.
And
I know
some of
them.
them might be bigger than him.
Yeah, hence why I don't do lunch duty anymore.
Yeah.
Like I was all about it. I was like, loved them, and mainly I did it last year because I got to see Jax and Asher together, 2 birds, 1 stone. Hour of quality, 45 minutes of quality time where I would eavesdrop. I knew everything going on in those classes. There were no surprises. I knew who was talking to who. Absolutely. I don't leave anything to chance. I knew everything that was going on, whatever. And I felt like I had my thumb on, their kids in school and their friends and everything that they were behaving. And I knew all the tea. They spilt the tea with me in lunch duty. Let me tell you, they came up and told me everything. It was great. So I know exactly who it is.
I know who it is too, and I don't know but 2 or 3 of those kids, and I know exactly who the fuck it was.
It's fun.
Asher, he's such a good kid, and all of our kids are very good, except for the young one. And she's little.
He's getting an award on Thursday.
No, not that one. He's great.
Asher.
The young one. Oh, Asher is.
Asher's getting an award for being so good in school on Thursday.
Harlan's the wild card that I'm constantly yelling at.
Oh yeah, she throws hands.
Yeah, Harlan's a wild card.
That too.
And
and my car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's difficult to deal with when you're around. When you're not around, but they've always been that way. But you throw Amy into the mix, and Harlan does not stop. She's relentless. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. Asher sends me a text the other day. He said Jackson is cussing in text messages, and I said, and he sent me the screenshot because he knows how I roll, and it's Asher saying "yo bitch" or Jackson saying "yo bitch," and I'm like, Jackson. First of all, I'm a terrible example, but I'm like, Jackson, what the fuck are you doing, man? And he goes, I didn't call him a bitch, Dad. He didn't say the word, but he goes, I didn't call him that. Look, and he does a screen recording of his phone, and he's using the Russian letters that look like a B.
Yeah, you hold down the S, and then it comes up with 8 other things that are S in other languages. Yeah.
And he goes, I called him a sitch, and I'm like, boy, don't fuck with me. I am not stupid, and if anybody sees this, they're going to know that what you really meant and what you said, so let's just knock it off, okay? If you're going to say that, say it in person where nobody has documented digital recordings of it. Yes, sir, I'm sorry, Dad.
You are well aware of what it looks like, and that's why you use that.
Yes,
why did you use that particular
Jax,
S? Because it looks like a B?
He gets all foghorn leghorn. Well, I would never, Dad.
He's technical.
Shut the fuck up,
He's
man.
that guy that's like, I wasn't speeding technically, and it's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You were speeding.
I'm like, don't do that.
He's
man.
a terrible criminal.
If you're gonna say it. There's no proof, but do not text.
Yeah,
it,
you gotta scare him into that, into like just like there's no question of gray area. No, you are good or you are bad. There's no gray area.
My concern is not that he called his brother a bitch. He was just being like, "Yo, bitch, I get it. Okay, cool,
I care about who else he's saying that to. That's what I care about.
Text or to his homeboys and their parents get that phone, and we're in a Christian school. Have you
done a recent?
Remind me that Thursday. I need to do that.
Done because I'm trying to be the not overbearing stepmom. I'll read Asher's text. I do it in front of Asher all day long. I'm like, you text as if I'm sitting next to you.
Yeah. So I'll definitely do it. I just forget about it,
Yeah.
But it's funny.
I'll put it on your calendar.
Yeah, there you go. I like your style. It's funny raising kids,
Is it funny? Is it? No, I was shook on Sunday when it was just me, Ryan, and Harlan. The other kids were in kids' church. Harlan sat on either your lap or my lap. She did go in between, but she was so cute and delicate and just this fragile, dainty little angel through the whole hour and a half church session.
Yeah, when did church become an hour and a half?
It's been an hour and a half.
I thought it was only an hour.
No, it's about an hour.
Yeah,
technically.
It was an hour and a half this time. But Dustin was on fire, so it was all good.
I know, it was amazing. But she sat the whole time. I'm like, who is this docile creature? She was so good. And I'm like, why don't...
Well, you missed what happened. So I took her to the wrong room, which I do every week, and they're very annoyed with me. But I'm like, she doesn't like the 2-year-old. She wants to be in with the 3-year-old. She's almost 3. She doesn't want to be in with the crybaby. She wants to be in with the big people. She has older brothers. And every week they're like, well, you got to take her down the hall. And I'm like, dude.
See, they never argue with me. Wherever I take her, they just take her.
And so they made me take her down to the 2-year-olds, and she's like, I don't want to go in here. And they were
downstairs?
No, they're upstairs on the other side. There's 2 ways.
Yeah.
One to the left, one to the right. I go to the left, but it turns out it's in the right. She didn't want to go there. And I said, well, listen, if I take you downstairs, you got to be good. Can you be good for me? That means no talking, no making noise. Yes. Okay. And then she did. So she's a keeper of her word.
It's amazing.
So I was like, if not, I'm going to bring you right back up here with the crybabies. No.
I'm shook. So impressive.
That's all it takes, I noticed Harlan likes to play this game where I'm like, hey, you want to snuggle? No. Are you sure you don't want to snuggle me? No, I don't want to snuggle you. But lately she's been crawling into bed because she's figured if I snuggle Daddy, he'll let me sleep next to him, even though I always remove her to her room in the middle of the night. But she's starting to snuggle. Oh, now you want to snuggle, huh?
Can you just tell the truth, though, please? She doesn't say, can I snuggle? She goes,
she says,
nuggle.
Nuggle.
Can I nuggle?
There's no S. The S
it's
is
the
silent.
cutest thing ever.
Yep, nuggle.
Nuggle me, mommy, nuggle.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the cutest thing ever. She's the cutest. She's so cute.
So we had a ranch mastermind last weekend.
Yes, you did.
And this is where we take a group of 5 people out to the ranch. And it's not a mastermind so much business. We talk business on the ride there and back, but I'm showing them how a ranch operates, how to flip land, how to make money from land, how you make money from it, teaching, because I have this belief like Lamborghinis and Rolexes were so 2020 to 2022. Now people need to start building a legacy and focus on what is going to help their family. If we go to war, if election gets messed up, if civil war breaks out, any of that stuff, you need land, you need a food supply, you need to learn how to make money from that. I think it's going to be the next hot commodity. And so we're really heavy into that. So we've been teaching people some of the things we do. And, a ranch doesn't necessarily pay for itself because land's expensive, and over time it pays for itself. But there are things you can do to cash flow it. You can lease out farming rights. You can lease out cattle rights. You can lease out hunting. You can lease out. We sell pecans. We do all these things, and that at least covers taxes and a little bit of cash flow and some other things like that. And we've got places where we buy we got a deal that should close any day now. We're waiting on an easement where we'll buy it and then we'll make $500,000, little over $500,000 from it. And so we're just showing people how this works. And so anyway, I take Jax out there with me, right? And lately I have been taking the kids individually or just a couple of them at a time, so I get a little bit more dad time with the individual as opposed to being a collective family. And so last week I took Colton with me for the day, and the whole ranch was flooded, by the way. It was underwater. We had tornadoes in Oklahoma. We'll talk about that in a minute. It was just absolutely crazy. But the whole ranch was underwater. The creek flooded over. The dam breached on one of our lakes. It was a fucking nightmare. But the good news is that shit dries up pretty quick, So by the time we were back out there Saturday, the following week, I took Jax with me and some of the guys that were on the trip. And the guys weren't pressed because they're like, wait, you just left your son on a 0-turn lawnmower to mow 7 acres while we're going out here doing this? And I'm like, yeah, he's 12. He'll figure it out. He's done it before. And
oh my gosh.
I go up there and about halfway through it, I dipped away from everybody, left them with Sean, and went and mowed around the house because I didn't want them like mowing too close to the house or whatever, and kind of outlining the lines where he needed to follow up there because there's boxes and construction and shit. I don't want them to run over a bunch of nails and break my mower blades. But they come back, man, and the whole place looks like a golf course, man. Jax, he knows how to mow up and down, and he's got it right. He knows how to get around the trees. He's very good with operating machinery. And all the dudes are like, wow, man, I wish my kids would do something like this. And it's funny because the kids, they make money from mowing the ranch. They used to mow the office here. Now we have professionals do it. And so Sunday I took the boys to go looking for a Mother's Day gift, right? And we go to Wetzel's Pretzels, because they want pretzel bites. And they're like pulling out their credit cards like, I'll get it, Dad. Like, I'll take care of Asher.
Cute.
Asher's like, no, I can buy my own. I don't need your help. I brought my phone. I'll just click my phone. It's
So
on my phone.
cute.
Like it's pretty cool, to
love
see
it.
them doing that. But it's also cool that, like, I'm telling Jax, you got to show your brothers how to mow straight lines. They don't, they're all over the place. Their lines aren't so straight, you know? And I'm like, you got to teach them. You get the concept. You got to teach them. He's like, they just like driving the mower, Dad. It's like, well, they can like driving it in a straight line, you know? So, but that was the thing, though. We had tornadoes in Ardmore. You know, Ardmore's where our ranch is. And there were 80 tornadoes. 80.
What? Just like in the state of Oklahoma? Or
in that area.
Jiminy
it leveled Marietta. It leveled Sulphur. There were like 40 deaths. I mean, just absolutely 40 so far. Absolutely madness.
That is unreal.
There's a town right next to us, and it's called Sulphur, and it's gone. It just doesn't exist anymore.
No, I heard about it on the radio. Apparently, they were known for having the broken cookie factory. Like, if you had a box of cookies and they were broken cookies, they would take them off the shelves of the grocery store and they would resell them for like $1, like a bag of broken cookies for $1 at Sulphur. And that's what they were known for off the highway, broken cookie factory. And so that's what everybody knew it as. And so they were all like, oh my gosh, the broken cookie factory place. That's terrible.
It's gone. It's gone. Like, it doesn't exist.
It is sad. How many people lived there?
Probably a couple hundred.
I mean,
like,
that is
like
awful.
Regardless, if one person lives there, you know, tornadoes are nuts. We had just braced our pavilion, or it wouldn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And it looks good though. By the way, it does look pretty good. But yeah, so there's this creek that runs. It's the size of a river, but it's called a creek that runs through our property. And it runs through the whole thing, the whole property. It's like zigzags through around the border and all this stuff. And the creek's usually 5-6 inches deep, you know. And it is about 25, 30 foot deep right now, or it was last time I was there.
Yeah, it's in a ravine with about 30 foot walls on either side.
Yeah, it's about 3 stories tall. It's at least as tall as this building.
Unbelievable.
You know? And just unreal floods because the rains happen, then they're up north and it's flowing downhill. Then other creeks feed into this creek, and then it feeds in. And Jimmy, my business partner out there that I bought the ranch from, he's like, as long as the creek is running east, we're fine. It's when Texoma and the Red River get full and it turns around and starts running west, we're in big ass trouble.
Oh,
and so right now they had to open the gates at Texoma to let water in because it's been so flooded up there. Because if it rains in West Texas and if it rains up in Missouri, it still travels down that creek. So it is absolutely nuts.
So if Texoma flows in, then like big trouble. Like, elaborate.
There's nowhere for the water to go.
Okay, but elaborate the exact detriment that would take place on our property in terms
it would
of
all be underwater instead of the amount that it was.
In terms of like the house and the barns.
The house and barns are up on a hill, so they're not in a floodplain, but it has gotten pretty gnarly there before. So
elaborate on gnarly.
Well, water. Fucking water, lady. It's a lot of fucking water.
So about this house I'm finalizing and what I should do to be a proactive,
I don't think we'll have a problem with the house because it's probably 200 yards from the creek. When you say maybe 500 yards from the creek. So I don't think.
Okay.
But I mean,
so we would be in big fucking trouble, but not.
But this is a
big fucking.
Well,
trouble.
tornadoes are kind of like lightning. They typically don't strike in the same place twice. You know, so this is like a once in a.
These are all hypothetical things we're saying. I live in the reality and the preparing so that my home does not flood. Yeah.
Well, get flood insurance.
Okay.
You know.
I mean, we're so close to a floodplain. I would think that would.
You should check into that.
I'm gonna. Yeah.
You should.
I'm glad we had this conversation. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we have cows, and our cows were trapped in the wheat field.
Poor babies.
And it was like an island. They couldn't cross, and we actually brought out the cutting horses to go and try to cross, but the horses wouldn't make it across either. So it was pretty wild, you know.
Jeez.
The guy's like, we're never going to get he got the trailer stuck, and he's like, we're never going to get the horses out of the front of the trailer. And I was like, come here. I just grabbed the reins. Come on, boy. God damn, I guess he's serious. He's like, oh shit, they came out pretty easy, huh? Like, well, they weren't going out the back, sir.
Oh my gosh, that is surreal. So
I was looking forward to riding the horses.
So we currently have 200 head of cattle on the ranch, and
counting babies.
counting babies.
There's about 80 mamas right now.
80 mamas and about 200 cattle, including
we
babies.
just are
'cause we
about to
have
buy 20
so many
more.
babies. We're buying 20 more cattle.
Because we just got 90 acres that are adjacent to our property that the
Okay.
guy, this is a hilarious story. So this guy buys this land a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he tills it up, and he plants whatever the fuck he plants over there. And our cows get loose one day, and he's like, oh, yelling at Jimmy, goddamn cows. He's like, listen, first of all, you're in cattle country. Cows get out. It's part of being around here. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't fuck with my cows. You can't do anything but call me. There's nothing I can do to always keep them fenced in because they're cows, and that's what they do. And you're in that part of the country, so shut the fuck up, city slicker.
I really
and
want
fucking
like an actual recording of that
and deal with it.
conversation because Jimmy said it with a hell of a lot more Oklahoma twang and a lot more aggressive things.
Yes, a lot more aggressive than I'm saying. Jimmy probably told him, you touch one of my cows, I'll fucking cut your balls off, right? So the guy's a little upset about his crops because cows, the grass is green on the other side. That's what they do. You know?
Yeah, they eat it.
And you don't have, as a landowner, you don't have the rights to the cattle. They're grazing rights, and if they get out, it is what it is. You're supposed to return them or call the owner. He calls Jimmy. And so then the thing flooded. So all of his hard work went for nothing. You know, and so Jimmy calls him back because Jimmy's a smart businessman. He goes, well, now that your shit's fucked up, do you want us to just let the cows loose on your land? And the guy goes, well, fuck, I guess you might as well. At least that keeps the grass down. And he goes, cool, here's what we'll do. And Jimmy worked out a deal with him. He said, you give us the land for free, access to the land for free. And we'll put 20 head of cows over there to keep your grass down. We'll bale the hay with what's left at the end of the year. And in the wintertime, when it's not flooding and it doesn't rain, we'll till up your land and plant stuff so you'll have good crops in the spring. And then when spring comes around and it rains again, you'll have already harvested. And we'll take care of that in exchange for you giving us access to your land. And the dude was like, all right, fuck it.
It's a great deal.
It's a great deal. That's what we do. We cut deals in the country with your neighbors,
I like it.
And that's our first step to buying the shit back from the guy because we're trying to buy up all that land in the area. If we've got it figured, if we can have 1,000 acres, we can have 500 head of cattle. They'll produce another 500 head of cattle a year. We'll have $1 million a year cow operation.
That's a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so
5
we're
bulls be fucking.
I there's 2 right now for
3.
80.
2 on our land, but 3 altogether we got.
I'm not going to do the math on that. I did the math on that. Anyways, so that's okay. We're going to have employees there. This is a lot.
Yeah.
I was just thinking having chickens by the ranch house was going to be a lot for me to do.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with you. Mac and Dakota run it all.
Except my house is there. I mean, it has, yeah.
The cows don't get out to the house. We have a cattle guard blocking them.
But I mean, I feel like it's still a part of the property.
You've never seen a cow on our land.
Correct, but that doesn't mean that it's under my purview of shit. Like, you gotta understand, like, I'm the wife here. I'm the female. I manage shit. Whether you know it or not, it's like a tab is open in the proverbial mom brain of shit I gotta make sure is handled because I have shit that's impacted by it.
Because we're gonna call in the deer with a deer feeder.
Okay.
And so that's all you got to worry about. The cows won't come through there.
Because I wanted to have like the little Stewman petting zoo behind the ranch house.
But who's gonna? Well,
So you answered your own question. Like some chickens.
In those cages back there.
I know you don't want a goat because it's just gonna eat.
But goats fucking.
They eat everything and they
crafty.
get out.
They're very crafty. They're
I
very.
feel like Colton's gonna want a goat because it matches his crafty.
They're
energy.
very crafty, and you can't just have one. You need a few, but they're very crafty.
Elaborate on crafty.
They're hard to keep in a pen.
Okay.
They know how to climb shit.
Okay.
They love crawling on shit. They love eating metal. I don't know why, but like
sheep.
Sheep are pretty easy to deal with.
Let's have sheep. I want sheep.
Yeah, sheep are pretty
Petting
easy to deal
zoo.
with.
We have kids. I'm trying to make it.
You're not gonna be able to pet them though. I don't think.
Oh.
Maybe.
Really?
I mean, they're still wild animals.
Okay. So, chickens, bunnies will get eaten.
There's bunnies everywhere out there anyway.
Okay. You mentioned a donkey would be good to keep them
Well, you
safe.
turn a donkey loose with cattle and they fight off
wolves.
Coyotes. But yes,
Okay.
nothing fights a wolf. Wolf,
Wins.
apex predator.
No, that wins. Okay.
Coyotes.
Noted.
Coyotes
Got
are
it.
like Ace. They're little docile pieces of shit, but a wolf is a 180-pound apex predator. That's like having a tiger.
It's big.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like
They're
as
not
big
as
as
big as a tiger, but they're as big as a biggest fucking dog you can think of. So,
That's large. Okay. So.
but a donkey will run coyotes off.
I'm just like, I feel like, okay, you can't pet sheep. Can you pet goats?
You can pet sheep and goats, but I mean, it just depends on how often you're around them,
Okay.
So.
Llamas.
No.
No llamas?
They have no use.
They're fluffy
Goats
and
you can
cute.
eat. Sheep you can shear and eat.
Is it too cliche if I name her Tina?
Llamas, that's an alpaca.
Oh,
But
alpacas.
but they're kind of useless. We want useful
I don't need them
animals.
to do anything, but just.
When's the last time
be
you heard
there.
somebody be like, "Dude, I'm
I
printing
want-
money from these alpacas,
I want.
bro."
You know what? I know we have money making animals. Can I just have a couple ornamental ones?
You got Ace. Ace costs as much
Okay.
as 7 fucking cows. You got Ace.
Yeah, he does. He's a used Kia.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Okay. Well, I'll stew on this, but chickens for sure.
yeah, chickens because you get
Some
eggs.
Chickens. Yeah. Lots of chickens.
Yeah.
All the chickens. They had that coop. They had like a full chicken coop for like $2,000 at Atwood's.
I'll just have Mac make us one.
Or we can have Mac make us one.
Yeah.
But then that's going to look all manly, man. I want the cutesy one with coordinating paint colors. Like, match the house.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Real shingles on the little roof. That would be the cutest thing ever.
We don't have
And it
shingles
can
on
match
our
a
house.
playhouse for the kids. The kids can have their playhouse with a chicken coop next to it. And then Harlan can have like a little cottage
We
with
could,
little
with the extra rock
planters
we
for
have,
flowers.
we could build them a rock chicken coop.
See, your head's in the right place now.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this.
If we ever get the fucking house done.
Oh, I know. I need to send another text message about that. Apparently, stuff's happening today.
It's been fucking a nightmare. with
It's
this
been
house.
over a year. They've built a hotel in Arlington next to Rangers Stadium
Yeah,
in
I'm
the
well aware.
time.
They built a casino down the road from
I
us.
know.
It's been a whole
I'm
ass-
glad we're at the place where we're just like battered women at this point
We
with
are.
contractors. Like, I don't even know. I'm
Yeah.
done. I'm totally done. Like,
Yeah.
I'm done.
If it's not a production builder, I don't think I'll ever build again.
Ever.
Ever.
Ever. Ever.
So on a nighter note, though, we are selling off a lot of our production builder homes. We have,
Yeah.
we
I
have-
love it.
We have
They've
25
cycled.
acres closing in 7 days. We have our apartment complex closing in 8 days. And then in about 21 days, we have our house in Little Elm closing.
Mm-hmm.
In 7 days, our tenants move out of one of our Florida homes and we're going to sell that one. So we're at a point where, we're reaping the profits from our properties and getting out of the single family business. Oh my God, that's going to be such a
We're
relief.
shifting. Like, if I, like, God bless all AC units, man. I'm done with AC units breaking. I'm
Yeah.
done. And like, if I don't have like that, and what's so and you're at the you're just at the mercy of humans. You got to deal with so many humans. I don't want to deal with humans anymore. I got to deal with the property
That's why I
managers,
like
which
cows.
I appreciate a property manager with the fact that we don't have property managers at 2 of the houses here.
3.
3 of the
Yeah,
houses
one we're
here.
about to sell. 4,
Yeah.
4 of the houses here.
But man, then they're like that.
We
like
have a few houses.
You were asking me yesterday, why is this check only this? I'm like, well, they took out what the one company was going to charge us for the AC unit. Oh, except we didn't go with that company.
Yeah.
We're going with a different company. They haven't even fixed it yet. So I'm going to call and be like, hi, you took out all this money, but you actually didn't fix it. You're going to, that's in a pool that you're going to, don't forget. I haven't forgotten. I have it highlighted.
Well, about 4 pages into the Bible, there's a human and everything's perfect. And then 4 pages into the Bible, another human shows up. And then it takes like 1,600 pages to figure out what the fuck that other human did. And we still don't even know how that ends,
Just keeping things interesting. But I mean, if it were just
Cows
perfect
make better tenants
harmony
than humans.
and butterflies and rainbow and sunshine, that'd get boring after a while, and you wouldn't appreciate it as much.
But if you think
You
about
got to
it,
take mayhem to appreciate the beauty of simplicity.
that's true. But if you think about it, like having cattle on a land is a lot like having an apartment complex because you
Yeah.
have multiple tenants, except for the tenants don't bitch about AC, they don't bitch about water, they
And the
don't break shit.
sanitation's a different
The sanitation's a little bit
element.
different,
Yeah.
but sanitation's good for the environment. and it makes the grass grow that much greener. That's why our grass is so green, because we have so many cows shitting on it. That's facts.
Yeah.
Our grass is
Valid
tall
point.
and green. You know, we're about to have to bale our first round of hay here real soon. And
You know what I kept on thinking?
but each one of those cows is worth money. See, I can't send humans that get on my nerves off to slaughter when they rent my houses and fuck my ACs up. But I can do that with cows, and they pay a pretty penny for them right
I
now.
saw all the footage from the Ranch Mastermind, and everybody like brr, brr, with all like the mud flinging, and I'm like, there's so much cow shit in that mud.
Oh, they
don't
have no
even
idea.
know.
Half
They don't
the shit
even
on their
know.
face was cow shit.
I
Yeah.
know. They're all like, yeah, like it's a badge of armor. I'm like, cow patty.
It is a badge of honor.
Right there,
you know?
next
that
to your
shit's
eye.
very full of nutrients. Our cows are very healthy.
They're, oh yeah, they are.
You know, cows are funny because you'll drop a bale of hay off, they'll eat, shit, and sleep all in the fucking food that they just ate. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I could live like that and nobody judge me.
Yeah,
Just,
you do.
No, but you know, but I mean, what a great life. It's like I'll eat shit and sleep all in the same place, and I don't really give a fuck. I mean,
Unless
that's
it's like a beautiful hotel room.
I'm not shitting in that.
There's a bathroom.
What? Oh, yeah, true. Humans are complicated.
And there's a pool downstairs and a spa. Anyways.
There's a pool at the ranch. It's called the Lake. They were all in it when we were there Saturday too. They were just
The
all
cows or
chilling.
the
the cows.
attendees?
They were
Okay.
just all chilling in the lake. We have a lake called Hidden Lake or Asher Lake, and
Because Asher's always hidden.
and the cows, it's very shaded, and the cows just lay out on the beach all summer. It's just like it's the spa.
Cow Beach.
Yeah, it's Cattle Beach. You know,
Caddo Beach.
that's their spot. The water will be green because again they shit and sleep in the same place. The water will just be, you know, cow shit green and like, you know, probably big fish in there. Probably really big fish in there from all the nutrients that are going into there.
Are they like land freeze?
No, those are in salt water.
But
probably
like
giant
them. I
catfish.
didn't say they work. So do they eat poo-poo?
But
Shit?
Trey,
Do
the
they?
dumpster guy, says there's huge catfish in the lake in front of our house. He said he used to pull monsters out of there a long time ago, so he knows there's monsters.
Like
still
in front of our house.
Yeah, in front of our house.
Really?
He said there's giant catfish in there. We need to fix that dock and fish it. I was like, I don't need
It
to
is
fix the
Project
dock to
City.
fish it.
I want beautiful lily pads on that thing.
Yeah,
Blooming ones.
yeah. All
I
right.
have so many beautification ideas.
Okay.
I'm really excited. My chicken coop with real shingles is going to be one
Well, Jackson is excited for the 4th of July again.
Oh,
So
yeah.
He's like, and we'll have our house so we don't have to leave, hopefully.
I can't believe
And-
it's May and we don't have that house. Like it was purchased in December of 22,
March.
March of
23.
23. No.
It's been a nightmare,
It was
y'all.
before
I hired
that.
a contractor
It was before
to
that.
remodel the house, $150,000 budget. Went out there and he tore the whole fucking house down.
And the house was gone.
The whole house
We're
was
like,
gone, and
"Oh,
I'm like,
where
what,
are the walls?
What happened to
No
the house?"
wall
and this is what
was
this
left.
fucking retard said. He goes, "Well, you said you wanted a different roof. We had to tear it down and put a different roof on it. Why didn't you tell me that maybe
You
that's not
don't
the
have
fucking
to
roof?
tear down
Yeah,
the
no
entire
shit,
house to put
fucking
a new
asshole."
roof on it.
Then he's mad that I'm fucking mad, and then he's all offended. Then he goes and lies on the fucking internet that I owe him money when clearly he fucking owes me money. It's been a whole fucking thing, man.
Yeah. Hey, what about that $30,000 lumber package you charged to my Amex that didn't go to our house?
It never showed the fuck up, man. This guy's been
I
a
have
complete fucking human
receipts.
colostomy bag. You know? And so we had to hire another contractor, and guess what he had to do? Redo all the shit that the first guy fucking charged us for because it was
Literally.
all fucked up.
Because that new roof wasn't even braced. Because like the entire wall from the kitchen to the back patio had 2 nails holding the whole thing up. Like you could have gone.
And he put
Like,
the
what?
post on the front porch that secure the roof weren't even concreted in. They were just wedged the fuck
They
in
were
there.
wedged in. The
In
foundation wasn't
Tornado
done right.
Alley.
There, every single door was a different width. Like I can't. I digress.
Yeah, it's been a frustrating process.
We need to make sure there's tequila around if we have this
But
conversation
you know,
again.
it just reminds me. I'm not as rich as this guy, but it just reminds me of Ed Milet. He tells this story years ago.
I haven't heard this story.
He
Tell
tells me this story about he buys this parcel in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. It's a beautiful lake, beautiful area. Some of the richest people in the world live there, and he says he wants to build this giant mansion there. And ours is just a ranch house, not a giant mansion. So money comparably, it's a mansion to me, right? My money compared to Ed Milet's money. And so he says contractor comes out, tells him it can't be done. Contractor 5th, 6th, 7th, 10th contractor, they blast the fucking mountain that's on this land. And then they use the rocks from the mountain to build up all of this fucking shit. And then
You mean the walls?
Like outside stuff, right? And then the contractor like dies, I think, in the middle of it. And then they get another contractor, and he doesn't know how to do it. And the third contractor, and he goes through like 15 contractors, if I remember the story correctly. But that house
feel as bad.
was the most beautiful house I had ever seen. It took him like 7 years to build it. And I'm paraphrasing because I don't know the exact story. I'm sure Ed's talked about it in his podcast. But it took him all these years to build it. But it was the most. And look, I've been in the nicest houses in America. Like, I'm not exaggerating. I've been to Dan Bilzerian's old house. I've been to Tommy Hilfiger's penthouse. I worked with the $1 Million Listing guy, so I went in a bunch of $20 and $30 million homes in New York and LA. And I've been to, Joel Marion had a really nice house at one point in Clearwater. I've been to all these beautiful, fucking amazing houses over the years, not counting the ones around here. I've been in a lot of the houses here. Hell, I built a lot of the houses here, wired them back in the day, a lot of the mansions. And Ed's house in Coeur d'Alene was still the most beautiful. I can't believe he sold it, but I guess, you get tired like anything else, or he made a bunch of money, but it was the most amazing home I have ever seen in my life. I remember one time I'm like exploring the house, and Ed walks out of one of the bathrooms and runs into me, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Bro, I'm touring your house." I didn't want to bug you. You were busy, but I'm not going to steal anything. You can trust me, but I'm walking around this motherfucker, every bit of it, bro. I'm going to take all of this in. I was fortunate enough to go there two, maybe 3 times over the years before he sold it. But I just think, okay, Ed had to deal with a lot more shit than I'm having to deal with a much larger fucking budget. So just muscle through it, Ryan. Mental toughness, so.
And I'm just praying that the finished product is gonna like feel all nice and dreamy and happy and not have like all sorts of shit wrong with it that I just
it looks good in there. I was in there Saturday and it looks great. The rock on the inside of the house looks amazing.
That's what I'm most excited about. And it still has white polka dots. We haven't even fixed the coloration on it yet.
Yeah, so
it's gonna look amazing.
Great.
Yay!
So that's what's going on in Plano, Texas.
What's going on in Plano, Texas?
Just kids and ranching and tornadoes
kids
and flooding.
Ranching and NATOs.
That's just us.
And there's more. He said, I texted him yesterday and he said they're more towards looking bad for Oklahoma this week. And I'm like, that's ominous. Like,
just do your job, bro. Just get the house done, man. You know what's looking bad? The one star I'm going to give you on Google. That's what's looking bad.
No.
I don't even want to do that. Like, I'm not that guy.
I don't do that to people anyway because I don't want people to do it to me.
There are people that we should do it to, and I got a couple on deck in my notepad just in case they piss me off.
Yeah, and it's just...
and if it is warranted, sometimes people do things and you're like, 1-star review warranted, let me just go in my archives, copy, paste.
If I didn't own a business, I probably wouldn't give a shit, but I won't like people doing that to me, and it's do unto others as you would have do unto you. But I would have people kick my ass if I acted the way some of these people acted. So I feel like doing unto others as you would. I'm not a good example of that, you know?
For the element of protecting other people from somebody. So for instance, like when somebody called me wanting to have a conversation about somebody that we had fired, and they were like, just give them a good review. And I'm like, I will, but I'm an honest person. I can't not be honest. I can't have them hire her and them have to suffer the same thing. But I gave them the context. I gave them the context of, hey, look, I'm an accountable person, so this is what happened. But I do take full responsibility, and there are things that I could have done on my end to prevent this, and this is what that is. So in hindsight, if those incidents were removed and that didn't happen, I'd hire her over and over again, all day. But this is what you need to do to prevent that. And so I was honest and I spoke my piece, but I was very positive because you got to think about it this way. Like, I feel like that's just lazy. Like, oh, they were great. Yeah, but you know what? You're putting some.
I never had a problem with her. I liked her. I didn't want to fire her. I liked her. She was bossy as hell, and if we needed her to go intervene anywhere, we went on vacation. She didn't mind telling people her fucking get out of this is our shit. I loved her, but I love her sister too, so it's all good. We replaced her with her twin sister.
Our life is a telenovela.
Yeah. And then we didn't tell the kids.
I know she I'm like, I'm not going to tell them until they ask me. And they asked, and I was casually like, oh, she's over there.
But I like them both. You know. I like them both. So, all right. Well, I guess that's enough excitement for one episode, unless you got
It's
something
going
to add.
down in Plano, Texas, Mr. Stewman.
Yeah.
I got to say it again.
So if you enjoyed the show, make sure you like, subscribe, all that other shit everybody else says, and share the show. If you're married and you got kids that call each other bitch or get in trouble at school, or if
It's sitch, Dad.
Yeah, it's sitch. Yeah, if you've got creative kids, share this with your significant other, and
Yeah.
you're
not alone.
Give us some reviews on
If
Spotify.
your band
That's
teacher
really
has
where
sent out a parent-wide email.
That's really where the bulk of our listens get in on Spotify. So give us a review there so we keep showing up in the algorithm. And thank you guys for listening. We'll be back next week.
Woohoo!